You're watching Fox 66 News, first at 10.
Total loss. A fast-moving fire raged through one western Erie County home as firefighters struggled to put out the flames. Good evening, I'm Brian Wilk. A busy night for rescue crews in Girard as a fire completely guts a house. The story's new tonight at 10 o'clock. Crews were called to the 300 block of Templeton Avenue around 6 Saturday night. According to officials on scene, the blaze began in the kitchen and spread to the remainder of the house. Firefighters were forced to evacuate the home due to the intensity of the flames. The house is considered a total loss. Everyone did manage to get out safely and there were no injuries reported. Nearly 10 fire companies assisted in putting out the fire while multiple tanker trucks dispatched due to frozen fire hydrants. Multiple crews battled a late night fire on Friday. Crews were called to the 23,000 block of State Highway 27 around 10:30 for a reported structure fire. According to the homeowner, he called the fire department for a chimney fire that spread to the vaulted ceiling inside the home. Crews were able to put the fire under control in order to keep it from spreading to the rest of the house. No injuries were reported during the incident. Let's turn to weather now. Meteorologist Craig Flint has your Fox First forecast. Hey, Craig.
And Brian, you feel for those people because it's cold out there tonight. Here's a look at what's going on in Girard right now. And there are still a few rogue flurries out there, but we should get to at least see some partial clearing during the pre-dawn hours while you're sleeping. You can see a few of those rogue flurries. Those will be fizzling. Temperature right now of 25. It's a west-northwest wind at 7 and wind speeds fairly light as we head through the rest of the night. If anything, they diminish. So could be a peak or two of sunshine early and then new clouds arrive as we head into Sunday afternoon. Take a look at your complete forecast. Which does include some messy weather, it looks like. That's coming up in just a bit. Brian, over to you.
Thank you, Craig. A big turnout in Perry Square this afternoon for the annual March for Life. Fox 66 reporter Julia Hazel spoke to some of the demonstrators and has our report.
Well, we're here to show our support for the pro-life movement and bring more attention to the fact that every life matters, especially the unborn who are completely defenseless.
The People for Life Institute created this event to show difference in beliefs from the 1973 case of Roe versus Wade.
Well, this is the 40th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision, which happened on January 22nd, 1973, and we see that as a very good example of something that was done very undemocratically.
Roe versus Wade was a landmark decision from the United States Supreme Court that protects a woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion. People for Life explain that this is the gathering they look forward to every year.
And it's been an annual event. Last year we had an ice storm and it was the first time we had to call it off. So after so many things being canceled this past year, I think people are ready to get out and express themselves.
This annual event allows for people to come together to support a cause they believe in.
And this is an important topic, and it's one of those topics that affects everyone in every part of our lives.
Julia Hazel, Fox 66 News.
There is relief coming to those who are unemployed. The Department of Labor and Industry announced this afternoon that payments for the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program will resume the week of January 24th. You will receive an additional $300 per week. For more information on the program, you can visit our website, yourerie.com. The State Department of Health reporting 97 new positive cases today in Erie County. With today's numbers, the county has a cumulative total of 14,683 cases. The state is reporting an increase of 5,785 new cases. Since March of 2020, there have been nearly 800,000 cases of COVID-19 in the Commonwealth. An additional 205 people died from COVID-19 in the state, bringing the total to 20,278. Crawford County reporting 26 new cases. Warren County reports an increase of 12. Ashtabula County reporting 20 new cases. Chautauqua County, New York continues to report 6,000 COVID-18. As the Biden administration tries to speed up vaccine distribution across the country, a vaccine candidate from Johnson & Johnson could be the next to seek FDA approval. Another from AstraZeneca is close behind. The pandemic has already claimed the lives of more than 410,000 Americans, the highest death toll in the world. Public health experts say the only way to get back to normal is by reaching herd immunity. The White House has set a goal of 100 million vaccinations in its first 100 days, but some doctors say even that may not be enough.
A million a day on a 2-dose vaccination schedule is still pretty slow going, considering we have 300-odd million people in the country. So we really need that to speed up to like 3 to 5 million a day.
So far, the CDC says about 1% of Americans have been vaccinated. TV host Larry King has died at the age of 87. He passed away at a Los Angeles hospital on Saturday. While no cause of death was given, it was reported early on in January King was hospitalized with COVID-19. Fox News senior correspondent Rick Leventhal takes a look back at King's career.
What I do is ask questions for a living. What a way to make a living.
With his distinctive voice and trademark suspenders, Larry King ruled the talk show circuit for over 60 years.
I missed Fidel Castro. Other than that, I've interviewed, I think, every world leader.
Special treat tonight, an hour with Madonna. If we have to tell you who she is, you have severe problems.
Night after night, tens of thousands of interviews, in-depth chats with newsmakers, entertainers, and presidents.
I'm delighted to be here, Larry.
King was born in Brooklyn, New York in 1933 and launched his broadcasting career as a radio DJ in Miami in the 1950s. He rose to fame with a nationally syndicated late-night radio talk show in 1978 and was perhaps best known for hosting Larry King Live on CNN for a quarter century from 1985 until he retired in 2010. But he wasn't off the air for long. In 2012, he began hosting a show online called Larry King Now. While some critics suggested he was a soft interviewer, he won numerous awards for his work, including an Emmy and 2 Peabodys.
All I've ever done as an interviewer is I never brought opinions. I left my ego at the door. I never used the word I. The guest was the thing that counted.
King was married 8 times to 7 women and had 5 children. In later years, he suffered a heart attack and was treated for lung cancer. But through it all, he never lost his sense of humor or his desire to keep asking the big questions.
The one question I would ask God. Yeah. Okay, first, if Monica Lewinsky wants to come on, we'll bump God. No, God. My first question to God will be, did you have a son?
Ladies and gentlemen, Larry King.
Thank you.
In New York, Rick Leventhal, Fox News.
President Biden says his new executive order will help millions of struggling Americans put food on the table. I'm Raquel Martin in Washington. Why even its supporters are saying it's a short-term solution. I'll have that full story coming up.
Plus, big game bound. 2 schools are showing support for tomorrow's AFC Championship game by rooting for their favorite teams. And a hot commodity, the woman who made Bernie Sanders' inauguration mittens a viral sensation says she's all out of stock. We'll explain when we come back.
See news happening? Shoot